Hello, race fans, and welcome to Disc Golf Daily. It is Tuesday, May 28th. We are the podcast that gets you caught up with news and growth in about 10 minutes. Although today might be longer. We took the holiday off, and there is a lot to talk about. Anyway, thank you for sharing the podcast over the weekend. We saw our biggest weekend numbers this past week. When you tell your friends, try not to brag about being one of the cool kids before anyone even suspected you were so cool. Anyway, today is Course Growth Day, and we are stuck in a nice place course growth-wise. Stay tuned after the news to hear the numbers. Our number one news story of the day, A-tier Roundup. My apologies as I click through. The first event we're going to talk about is the Sunstein Open, which happened here in central Massachusetts. After the first round, Simon Lizotte was down by a bunch, but he came back with a 13 down, the hot round by 5 strokes, beating Harry Chase, one of New England's best, by 3, and Kyle Moriarty by 5. Well done, Simon. He also finished it off, maybe just for fun, with an eagle on the 600-foot par 4, hole 18. Our next event is the Rumble in Milan, Illinois. Coming down the stretch with 3 holes to go, Ben Callaway with 4 holes to go. He was 3 down. And then Ben Callaway throws an ace. Paul Kranz gets the par. All of a sudden, Ben Callaway is 1 stroke behind, and that is where he would finish. Congratulations to Paul Kranz, shooting 33 down with a 10:44 rated final round to pull out the win over Ben. And then we go to the Rocket City Blast in Huntsville, Alabama. I always love it when the Southern Nationals crowd gets involved. This was a hell of a battle. Going on to the final 2 holes, Greg Barsby held a 4-stroke lead over Thunder Schultz. Thunder went birdie, putting a little bit of pressure on Greg, I guess. Although Greg went par, triple, bogey, and would end up losing in a playoff. Congratulations to Thunder Schultz, shooting 23 down, tying Greg Barsby and beating him in a playoff. Johnny McRae was 22 down. The old man's still got it. At the DGPTQ Series Cascade Challenge in Shelton, Washington, Nicholas Antala destroys the field by 10, beating Chandler Kramer and Ezra Robinson, both by 10. They tied for second. At the Auburn Open, this was an exciting one to watch as they came down the line. Matt Bell birdies 6 of the last 8 holes to take a 1-stroke lead and win by 1 stroke over James Proctor, by 2 strokes over Raven Newsom. Raven is obviously a Maple Hill favorite. He's a staple here after being on the lead card. Was that 2 years ago? Anyway, we look forward to seeing Raven continuing his push to the podium and beyond. Oh, we got other things to do. We can't just sit here lollygagging around. Let's get to the rest of our news stories. PDGA Awards. Owen Scoggins wins the Bob West Memorial Sportsmanship Award. The Bob West Award celebrates playing disc golf for the right reasons. Having fun, supporting others, playing with your opponents instead of against them, and doing so with grace, respect, and humility. Thank you, Owen, for representing disc golf so well and for teaching us by your actions. And congratulations. The Brent Hambrick Tournament Director of the Year Award went to Chrissy Fountain and Renee Farr. In 2023, Chrissy Fountain and Renee Farr launched a women's-only tour in Texas called the Wildflower Disc Golf Tour. Stephanie Vincent and Des Redding also helped create that tour. Through the tour, they spread awareness and enthusiasm for disc golf to women and girls throughout Texas. In 2023, Fountain is credited with directing 23 sanctioned events, including 2 B tiers. Renee Farr is credited with directing 10 sanctioned events, including 1 A tier and 5 B tiers. Together, their impact continues to resonate in the women's disc golf community in one of the top states for total PDGA active members, namely Texas. Our number 3 news story of the day, PDGA approved discs. Wow, so many new companies still coming into the sport. Hello, H13 Disc Golf. You came out big with your first ever PDGA approved disc. This is a massively wide-winged distance driver called the Wanderlust. Welcome aboard, H13. Jester Disc Golf with a T, Jester, has their 4th disc PDGA approved. It is a putt and approach disc named the Wild Thing. I'm not sure that's a great name for a putter unless the stamp has a pair of glasses on it. Essential Discs has had their 8th disc approved, a mid named Balance. Mid named Balance sounds like an odd movie about a guy on a Navy boat trying to find his better angels. But that's not the name of the disc. This is just Balance, but I said a mid named Balance, which is my movie. And lastly, Yikon Discs has had their first basket, and it's at the championship level, PDGA approved. While I'm potentially conflicted about this Chinese company getting into disc golf at a larger and larger level, it is actually a positive sign about our growth that they want to. Hopefully they can get some of the 1.3 billion people in China excited about the sport as well. There are currently 16 courses in China. There's a lot of room to grow. Our number 4 news story of the day, course accessibility, Dion Eden and UDisc. This is from UDisc's blog called Release Point. Dion Eden is a passionate disc golfer since 1997. He faced a significant challenge when a car accident left him with lasting pain and reduced mobility. He loves disc golf and he was determined to continue playing. He had to relearn how to play, adapting his approach to manage the physical toll. This personal experience inspired him to create All Accessible Disc Golf, which is an organization, and organize Playing in My Shoes, an event in British Columbia. You got to wait till you hear about this. This event aims to raise awareness by having participants play disc golf with various disabilities, for example, using wheelchairs, blindfolds, and non-dominant hands. His vision extends beyond single events to making disc golf universally accessible. And collaborating with UDisc, a company that shares the value of inclusivity, Eden has helped integrate accessibility ratings into the UDisc app. This feature allows players to filter courses based on their accessibility, making it easier for individuals with disabilities to find suitable locations. Since the release of these indicators in March of 2024, nearly 20% of the courses, over 2,370 courses, have been updated with accessibility information. This initiative not only helps players find accessible courses, but also encourages course designers to consider inclusivity, ultimately fostering a more welcoming environment for all disc golf enthusiasts. Well done, UDisc. Thank you very much, Dion. This is a great initiative. And our final news story of the day, Portland Open Week, top 20 ranked. So Bangarang Disc put together a couple of great charts ranking the top 20 men and women in 12 categories. Some quick takeaways. If you need to get in Circle 2 or closer, hand the disc to Anthony Barella and Calvin Heimberg. They are your go-tos. Their driving is the best on tour this year, and the stats back that up. Andrew Marweed and Gannon Burr are the best putters on tour so far this year. Ricky Wysocki is our scramble master, and Mason Ford avoids OB the best. Overall, though, Gannon Burr leads or is in the top 3 in 9 of the 12 categories. Huge. On the women's side, a couple things stand out. First of all, Kristen does not lead in any categories except birdie rate, bogey rate, and OB rate. Not fairway hits, parked, C1 or C2 in regulation, nor any putting stats. She just scores well. And really, that's all you need. She is a very efficient player. The other thing I see is that Scoggins is not in any of the driving stats, but she's leading all of the putting and scrambling stats, and is in second in both birdie and bogey rate to Kristen. Lastly, Evelina Salonen is the best driver on tour, leading in C1 in regulation, C2 in regulation, and second in parked. Thank you for the great stat compilation and great presentation, Bangarang discs. Link in the show notes if you want to check it out yourself. Now let's find out if there were any new courses that opened up in the last week. It is time for UDisc course growth. We had 29 new courses in the last week, and for 5 weeks in a row, we've had either 29 or 30 new courses every week. That is an average of 4.1 courses every day, well over 1,300 courses a year if we can keep that up. When we add in January and February and March, the average courses per day is actually just 2.8. We're averaging just under 20 courses per week. Estimated new courses this year, 1,033. At the end of the year, I predict we will have had a 7.5% growth rate in the number of courses, and we'll have 16,133 courses in the ground. Countries with the biggest growth, not percentage-wise, but course-wise, the United States, 16 new courses this past week. Norway had 4, Sweden had 3, and Canada had 2. Denmark, France, Latvia, Slovakia, Nicaragua, no matter how you pronounce it, Nicaragua, why is that hard for me to say? Nicaragua and Portugal each had 1. And there you have it. Another great week for disc golf and a great day for Disc Golf Daily. Have fun, throw them straight, and hit the thin gap. And if you have any thoughts, news, or opinions, shoot us an email at discgolfdaily@aol.com.